Assalamualaikum and a very good day to all listeners. My name is Muhammad Nur Azam bin Abdul Jalil. We'll be presenting to you a subject on accounting of Sukuk, focusing on Sukuk Prihatin. This is part of the fulfillment of the subject FIN 5113, Accounting for Islamic Finance. This is an elective subject. Sukuk is a form of certificates of equal value that represented an divided pro rata ownership of tangible assets, usufruct, or services. Sukuk in nature is a non-recourse asset-backed instruments that the creator of Sukuk will normally repurchase an underlying assets, whether at a fixed or reference price. Sukuk is considered as Islamic financial certificate that fulfill the Sharia principle and law. How does Sukuk works? Each Sukuk will be different structure in accordance with the contract between the special purpose vehicle and the originator that will further determine the distribution of the profit to the Sukuk holder and redemption of the Sukuk when it reach maturity level. Sukuk Prihatin is a form of investment product that is being developed in the form of fixed income securities that are offered to Malaysian and any company or corporation that registered in Malaysia and a trustee, cooperative, foundation, sole proprietor, partnership, association, or other incorporated bodies operating in Malaysia. The issuance of Sukuk Prihatin by the Government of Malaysia as a mechanism for the public to be involved and contribute funding for the country to be able rebuilding the economy post-COVID-19. The size of Sukuk Prihatin first subscription is RM660 million that was opened from August 18, 2020 until September 17, 2020 and issued on September 22, 2020. Sukuk Prihatin will be having a maturity for a period of 2 years and the maturity level will be on September 22, 2022. The intended utilization of the proceeds is to be parked under Kumpulan 1 COVID-19 as a financial mechanism that been introduced as part of economic stimulus packages and recovery plan to overcome the COVID-19 crisis. There is an option for Sukuk holder to waive the principal amount, whether partial or full, when it reaches the maturity time as a contribution to any government-approved trust account. Sukuk Prihatin challenges. There is a comparison with conventional bonds stating that the issuance of Sukuk Prihatin is like the war bond issuance. War bond is an initiative done by the government to provide funding to the military operation and is done through by spending with issuance of debt for the public to buy it. In a normal issuance of war bonds, no interest or profit is returned to the public, but it is done by selling at discounted value at maturity of face value for a period of 10 to 30 years. The government of Malaysia is committed that 2% profit rate per annum will be returned to the investor, which means that the government is guaranteeing the profit will be obtained. With the current economic outlook and long recovery period for the business, there is a pattern of high credit risk with many default rates within the Sukuk issuers. This pattern of default rates is contributed by the low credit quality or weak business plans that too dependent on supportive type of economy and market conditions. The investor does not have any access to the Sukuk underlying assets in situation default unless the asset is sold to a special purpose which that issued the Sukuk. Although Sukuk Prihatin oversubscribed by RM160 million, it is only within the individuals or organizations registered in Malaysia which expose a risk that will be purely depend on local contribution only. The issue on what kind of accounting standard being utilized by the originator in doing their Sukuk issuance have been a subject for many regulators. Most of Sukuk issuance then to adopt international accounting standards that are complying and follow the Islamic finance in exception if the standard conflicting with Sharia principles such as prohibition of interest, business activities not permissible by Islamic law, and forbidding ambiguity, gharar, and uncertainty, masir. There are countries or jurisdictions that implies Islamic accounting standard for Sukuk from IFI, but many of them using international standards such as IFRS to provide better comparability and comprehensiveness of the financial report for greater engagement to many companies with wide Islamic financial instrument. For any sovereign or corporate sukuk, the establishment of SPV by the originator to be function for specific purposes and activities to allow the originator has the control toward the subsidiary. By doing so, it is subjected to regulation of International Accounting Standard IAS 28, investment in associate or as simple investment as a financial asset under IAS 39 financial instrument. In IFRS 10, it further stated a company has the control of another company, the investee, and if, only if, the control over the investee has been invested to the investor. In conclusion, Sukuk will face a moment of truth in facing the test of global recession that will observe the survival of matured Sukuk that will be facing the reality of Sukuk performance. The default rates impacted by the COVID-19 and further drop in global economy will expose the Sukuk market to the reality of economic downside and how it will recover later. It will be hard for Sukuk to prevent from the impact of defaulter to work their way out by extending the maturity of their Sukuk to a period that will be beneficial on the value of underlying assets. More innovative Sukuk investments are expected to flourish as mechanism to provide financial assistance to help the economic recovery and resolving social issues that caused by the COVID-19 pandemic and the slump of oil prices for the past 14 months. More green and social Sukuk will be the innovative in the Sukuk market for 2021 that will attract the investor to explore and participate in the Sukuk investment. That's all from me. Thank you very much for your time.